Greetings and salutations, dear viewers. Welcome once again to Fragment Friday. Fragment Friday, of course, for those who don't know, is where once a week I boot up .hack Fragment, and I get to play alongside all of you and read your comments and talk to you and all kinds of fun stuff. Usually I am joined by Madam Berry when I'm doing this. However, Madam Berry is feeling a little under the weather right now, so you may hear her moaning in the background, but sadly she won't be joining us proper tonight. That said, on top of everything else, you guys can actually join in and play alongside me. If you want to play, you can check the link directly below the stream. You'll find one that says, "So you want to play the game," or something like that. Click that very detailed walkthrough on how exactly to get the game up and running. I'm also accepting donations as we stream. You can see in the upper right-hand corner the current high donations and the most recent donation. Of course, there's none there at the moment, but we just started streaming, so I certainly don't expect people to jump on it that quick. When you do donate, we accept, or I should say if you donate, we do accept pretty much any form of payment. PayPal, credit card, I think even e-checks go through. When you donate, you can put in a name for me to read. You can simply have it say anonymous, and I'll see anonymous. You can then put in a comment, which I will read aloud for everyone, and you get to hear a fantastic noise. So that's that. If you do want to play alongside, the server is in the lower right-hand corner. It's Peach Boot. That is the server that I'm hosting off of my own computer. And $10 immediately in from Kaiser, who says, "Sup Naka, hope everything has been going okay for you, and also I hope that Barry gets better soon. Hugs." Thank you, Kaiser, and I'm sure Barry appreciates that. So with that said, I will go ahead and hop on. You know, I noticed that this doesn't kick me off going onto this screen now that I'm on the fat PS2. Which I think had something to do with the weird whatever it is that we were doing with the slim one to get it to read the game. Did I update? Yes, I did! We are currently on build 6. Which had some, for the most part, I think some very minor bug fixes and a bit of additional translation done. For example, you get to see the actual name of the awakenings now. Hey! If you wanted to draw fan art of Barry, what do you do? I mean, there are, like, Barry does have her own little avatar character person thing. I'm not sure where the best place to go would be to get a decent look at it, though.
It's all a silhouette.
Well, it's a silhouette there, but, like, she has an actual look.
Yeah, I just don't think I've uploaded it anywhere. I could. If people want it. Not right now, but...
Well, hey, now that I'm done drawing Lucienne, I can work on drawing Barry.
You know you tried that once.
And then I'll just never work on Will Gaia.
Wasn't I supposed to, like...
$20 just in from Kuma Kaori, who says, "Getting next week's in early since I don't know if you'll be streaming or if I'd make it. Hope Barry feels better. My team at work has been plagued this past week. Keyword, if I get lucky, Kuma." Thank you very much, Kuma. If you win, that will most certainly be added. Another thing of note for everyone is that the highest donator of the evening does get to add one new keyword to the server. Sadly, it's just one new keyword. I can't, otherwise I'd be adding way too many keywords. I don't know if I have any games to give out this week. Yeah, I mean, I had 4 copies of the one game, and I know I gave out 2 last week, but I don't remember if I gave out 2 the week prior. So, I don't want to give out codes that someone's already used.
You gave out a beta key the week prior.
Hmm. I may. I know, it was... I was just going down the list, so I've got the bottom 2 to give out. Yeah. If they are actually being given out anyway.
That's up to you.
Okay, if that's said, I do then potentially have an additional 2 to give out. Give me just a moment to go track them down. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure it is 2 copies of Risk of Rain. Yep, there we are. Once again, special thanks to Beyond Zagurevu, who sent these in, but there are 2 copies of Risk of Rain that I will be giving to the highest and second highest donator of the evening. I do want to apologize because I'm not 100% positive that I actually have these codes. I may have given them out prior. So I apologize profusely if you try to use them and then it doesn't work. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I did not, though. But... I could.
They can't hear me at all.
Yeah, so it probably seems like I'm talking to air. Okay, let's see here. I have a couple messages. Yeah, I think I do still have them to give out. I'm pretty positive I still have them to give out. So that will be a thing, what I can give out. So there we are. The highest 2 donators of the evening also get a copy of Risk of Rain. The highest donator of the evening gets to choose a new keyword to add to the server. And now I've got to boot the server up so I can actually get on. Peach boot! Oh man, Noah Gazen's working on Luciana's stand.
Oh man.
And as requested, it will be named Black Hole Sun. Bringing it back! Did I catch much of Desert Bus this year? I poked in it every now and then, but I don't think I really, really sat down and watched it much. As I mentioned before, though, you guys can all play alongside if you want to get the game set up. It may take a little too much work for you to get it set up for this week, but if you check the link just below that says, so you want to play the game, then... Follow that, run through, and you can get the game up and running. To anybody else who feels like playing, the server is Peach Boot, and since Barry's feeling a little under the weather, we can get 2 people in right from the start. And while I'm waiting on some people to join, I'm going to run over and sell all of this crap that I probably have in my inventory that I don't need. Yeah, let's see here. I do not need any of the tarot cards. I never keep any of them. Tarot cards?
Stop saying like a fruit.
Whatever. I say what I want. Nobody can stop me. I don't think I really have... Duanganon saw Gurren Lagann last weekend. It's pretty alright. Pretty alright, yo. I'd feel bad selling all these bloods, because I think the one guy last week gave this to us. I'll save him. I'll, like, never remember to use them, but I'll save him. Got a treasure... Okay, so I have not shown off a... Carrot Stick says I have not shown off a dark area, and I have not shown off the fire desert area with the ribs and bones and stuff. So I'm going to want to make an attempt to get a dark area today. To each their own, Duanganon. I've talked to people before that weren't as fond of it. Some people love it to death. I think it's really awesome. Not everybody does. To each their own. Okay, equipment. Do I have any... Do I have anything for heavy classes that I can get rid of? Okay. Still waiting on somebody to hop on the server. Okay, so I got these vampire blades, which are pretty alright. This is worse. Worse? Ooh, better. Those are interesting. My hit goes down on, like, all of them, though. I need that hit, so I'm not gonna do it. I'll keep the ray, but I can sell most everything else. Okay, done cleaning out my inventory. Still nobody's hopped on. And that is a bit sad, Carrot Sticks. Not a huge turnout tonight, so I'm hoping I don't have to play solo. We'll see, though. If nobody hops on in a little bit, I can probably go back and do the solo story for a little while. I need to make a little bit of progression in that, anyway. I do have to get a grunty. What is my thought process when building my world? So by that I assume you mean, well, Gaia. And a lot of it is just taking what I like about worlds, which is... Alcera says he's trying to get on, but it won't let him connect. Well, that's poo. But as far as world building in, well, Gaia goes, to be honest, I just kind of let things come to me, since I'm not in a special hurry to do world building. I don't, like, sit down and go, okay, we need this and we need this now. So I've been attempting to... I forget where I was going with that sentence. I was going somewhere. But I started by taking, like, as a broader sense. I've been attempting in a broader sense to really just start by doing something that, like, starting with something that I love. And one thing I really like is the worlds in a little older JRPGs. And so that's kind of where I started. I thought about the world in terms of, like, an older JRPG. Where it's, like, it's brighter, it's a bit happier, it's, like, still kind of sparse, adventurous stuff everywhere, tiny towns here and there. It's still more fantasy-like, not like Dungeons and Dragons-like. Okay, a couple people are saying that they're having trouble getting on. I've seen at least 2 people now. So, you know what I'm gonna do, actually? Is... Can anybody who's trying to get on any other server? Is the screen rotating slowly? You know, I think it is, actually. I can't even do that on purpose. Man, I can't even do that crap on purpose. So it's not necessarily my server. It shouldn't be an issue with the build update, because I've been playing on build 5 for the longest time, and when I updated to build 6, I didn't update my own server, and they can't get on any server. So I know it's not my own server.
Yeah, for the longest time I was playing on build 6 and you were playing on 5.
And 5 and 6 were playing together fine. And, like, the build doesn't even have anything to do with the servers. It's entirely the, client. I'd say maybe the servers maybe, like, Coldbird servers having trouble, but if I can get on... Am I interested in Tree of Savior at all? To be honest, I've not heard of that. Sounds kind of neat. Just given the name. And I would very much like to see a new Dot Hack game. I'm worried for the direction that they would be taking it, though. But given some of the periphery that they've developed for the Dot Hack universe since, I have at least higher hopes that the next game would be a bit better. Oh, hey, somebody got on. And I don't think I've seen this person on before. Mar. Sup, Mar? Well, we can wait a moment to see if somebody else is on. Alright, server works. Alright, don't want to keep people waiting forever, so we can wait a little bit longer, but want to do something. Yeah, as far as the new game goes, though, they were going really super downhill with games for a while. Like, GU, in my own opinion, wasn't as nice, I guess I'll say, as the original quadrilogy. And since then they did, I forget what the game is even called, but they did that one dot hack game on the Vita, I think. And that I can't even remember what it calls should tell you my opinion of that one. And since then, they hadn't really done another game. Like, it had been a really long time. They did do a couple interesting things in the dot hack universe. Link. Okay, it was dot hack Link. They did do a couple interesting things in the dot hack universe. They made a movie, they made an anime, they made the fighting game, which they packaged with the movie, and pretty much all of those treated the universe in a much neater light, I feel. And in turn, I didn't say much about dot hack versus, if only because I did mention it, but I didn't mention much about. Oh, we're getting somebody. Oh man, it's Elk! Heck yeah! But I didn't mention much about Versus because it wasn't even a full-fledged fighting game. It was, though it was a very, very competent, for what it was, fighting game, it wasn't even a full-fledged fighting game. It was actually packaged alongside the movie, so you just kind of got it when you got the movie. But given what they've done recently, I do feel like... given what they've done recently, I do feel like they're at least approaching the dot hack universe in a much better light. And in turn, whatever it is that they would come up with, I'm actually a lot more interested in seeing. Okay, let's get going! Oh wait, no. Elk will be back in a second, okay. Well, let's not get going then. That would be rude. Is Barry sick today? Yes, she is, I'm afraid. She's sitting right here. You'll probably hear her moan every now and then. But for the most part, she is not here proper because she's feeling a little under the weather. Find a dark area in the meantime. There's an idea. Can I even make a dark area? That's interesting. Oh no, I had one! Gotta go slow. Oh, there we go. Dark level 15. Fudge that noise. Dark 15. Fudge that noise. Dark 15. Fudge that noise. Every dark we get is going to be level 15, isn't it? Or is just everything we do? Level 9 dark. There we are. Let's give that one a go. Something something kittens. Let's go! I think Elk said he was a good. I saw him say something, and I think it had something to do with him being good to go. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Coldbird server is getting wonky because even the loading is taking super long. It's sort of a dark area, I guess. Everybody good?
Oh my goodness, I don't know where this came from, but my phone somehow knows the word Tumblr creepin'.
Well,
Which is not a word that I've used or seen before.
I'm tanking. I'm tanking the squirt. I'm tanking the tank. Like how its tail just like spikes straight up. Okay, so where's our nearest portal? It is this way. Oh, right there in front of me, actually. Ah, attack me! Hey, you attack me! Or die. That works too. That is also a thing that you can do. If either of you want this, it is all yours. Actually, both of you, I think, are... I'll take it, because I don't think either of you... Well, Elk may want it. Mar, I'm sure, has better gear than even I do. So... Where am I even going? Where are we? We're going the wrong way. Gotta go this way. I'm sorta lost. Should be around here. Should be right there. Heck yeah. La pumpkin. I'm tanking. Oh no, you. No, come back before you revive him. Come back and let me kill you before you revive him. Okay, going this way. Stop, pumpkin. Pumpkin. If I could decide on any one RPG world, what would I live in? I'm terribly sorry. I didn't think I triggered the portal. I was reading the thing. Any one RPG world to live in? That's a rough one, because a lot of the worlds are kind of craptastic. Like, I am not the kind of person who wants to go out there and put myself in imminent danger to live. So I would reasonably... alright-ish. Pokemon.
I feel like that's...
Pokemon would be pretty awesome.
I feel like that's the safest...
Pokemon would be pretty awesome. Sort of close to the real world. You can go out on adventures and stuff, but you don't actually get hurt. I mean, you pass out for whatever dumb reason when your Pokemon all die, but...
Fate from surprise.
How could I lose? Huh? Oh no, we lost Elk. Alright, well, let's go out and wait for Elk. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing would be alright, but I think I'd prefer Pokemon.
Animal Crossing would be terrible. You'd have to take care of everyone because nobody can do anything for themselves. It'd be like babysitting 24/7.
I mean, there's like my favorite world, and then there's the my favorite world that I would want to live in. And like, I can think of a couple worlds that are super awesome. But... like, a lot of the Tales of games had super awesome worlds. Tales of Destiny was pretty cool. I mean, one of those ones with, like, the fantastic landscapes and crap that I can't even remember. Like, there's a lot of really awesome places. But then they're also, like, littered with monsters and people are getting killed all the time. So... Oh, getting somebody else in. Cephalo says, donate to send medicine. Hey! Okay, let's try this one again. We'll see what happens. I have the opportunity to date Natsume, Rummy, or Alcade. Who do I choose? Assume Barry doesn't mind. I'm going to abstain from answering that question. Because Barry's right here in the room with me, and I'm not dumb.
Man, I was assuming you'd pick Alcade. I'm curious.
I'm going to abstain from answering. Alright, let's go have some fun. No, come back. Let me poke you. There's another portal, like... Okay, this is indeed Elk that's rejoining us at this point. Where are we and where are we facing? Oh, we're there! Well, that's why I was getting lost. Okay. So Elk has rejoined as not Elk. Hopefully the new character also grants him a better internet connection. So let's see, where are we going? We're going this way. And I'm going to grab this. Op Vox. This thing always weirded me out. Like, whatever this is that's cocooned there. Rockhead. Oh, you don't have bad internet, so did you drop off on Elkin intentionally then? Like you wanted to play a different character? Ah, he's on emulator. Well, that'll do it. Well, let's hope the different character agrees more with your emulator. Because sometimes it can go super nice. Sometimes not so much. Should be one around here somewhere. $1 in from Bringer of Kittens. Love your glowy weapons, Naga. Super fancy. Have a kitten and an e-brownie. And Bringer of Kittens says, get well soon.
Thank you. I don't know if they can hear me, so...
Yeah, I doubt they can hear you, but... Barry says thank you. Tank! It'll die eventually. It's dead. There it goes. Man, I'm trying to open a chest. Why you guys gotta be attacking? Son of a gun, leave us alone! trying to read the comments. If I had a chance to have my own persona, what mythology and, like, god would I choose from? That's a tough one as well, if only because there's a frickin' lot of them. Oh, goodness. If I had to pick, though, what would I go with? You're dead, right? Yeah. I don't know. What was the one lady that I had, like, at the very end of Persona 3? Who had, like... I think she had, like, giant wavy hair and, like, pitch black skin. Scotty? Maybe it was Scotty. Scotty was pretty awesome. I like Scotty. Boats or trains? Clearly boats. 2 boats. Pumpkin. Man, leave me alone. Who's my favorite villain and why? You know, that's not a question that I've put a lot of thought into. So it'd be rough to come up with one, but to be honest, I like a villain who's just a villain. Like, I'm not as fond of villains where he's dead. He'll die eventually. Like, I'm not as fond of villains that they try to make, like, more human and understandable, and maybe he's not really a villain, he's just as a conflicting point of view that's equally valid, and then you feel bad for him in the end, and, like, I don't want none of that. I want a villain that's a villain. I want a guy that's just ready to take over the world because he's just evil. He's doing it for the lulz. But, like, that doesn't necessarily have to be a boring character, though. A lot of it comes down to how you're going to handle the evil. How you're going to handle them going out and doing the thing. And they don't even necessarily have to be, like, full evil. But I just don't like it when they try to make me, like, feel for them. $2 in from Melphis999, who says, "Greetings from Finland." Manly voice. I doubt this is nearly enough to please you, but hugs and kisses to you. It's 3:45 in the morning here, and for you I offer the word of broccoli. Thank you very much, Melphis. Melphis, by the way, is a Grandia 2 reference, so that's alright. Good taste in games, yo. Scorpion tank. Like, the villain doesn't necessarily have to be, like, just evil, but I don't like it when they try to make them, like, relatable and make you feel bad for them and that kind of thing. Like, no, when I'm fighting that frickin' villain, when they get taken out, I want to be glad. I want to be so frickin' happy that they bit it. He's dead. Die already. I'm gonna be over here messing with his chest while he dies. Okay, I think that was all. No, there's one field portal left. But where is it? Oh, there it is. It's hiding. I see it. Do I consider a book where the main character dies at the end a cliché? I don't read enough books, but that hasn't been a common enough occurrence in any of the books that I've written to consider it a cliché. As long as it's handled well, anyway. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the only book I can think of where the main character died at the end was Maze of Death by Philip K. Dick. And he didn't really die, he just kind of became a cactus. Or something to that event. I mean, death showed up and all. But he was reincarnated as a cactus. In his defense, he chose to be reincarnated as a cactus because he was really tired of dealing with people's crap. No, you come back here. Another one? Oh no, I have to set my shortcut. Crap. I have to set my shortcut because I don't have an L1 circle. Physical skills. Really? I can't use either of these? Do I not have 50 SP? I've got 50 SP total. Why can't I do it? Shortcuts. L1 circle, action, skill. Maybe I just can't use it now. Spin and slash, high speed. I don't know what R and S is. Let's try this one, and then we'll see what happens otherwise. That's all field portals open, though, so we can head on into that dungeon. Ew, it's that one. Look at them fingers in that horrible, horrible mouth. Let's go to dungeon, he said, without an ounce of regret. Do I know about Lovecraft or Cthulhu, Cthulhu mythos? I know an amount about them, but not like a huge. Have I seen or read Berserk? And if so, am I looking forward to the new movies? I have both seen and read Berserk, and I did not know that there were going to be new movies, and now I am excited. Because, oh my goodness, Berserk. I'd really like it if we could update the manga more often than he does, but at the same time, you see the quality of those things. I think it's funny that he's gotten to the point where he just kind of releases the next one when he feels like it. Sup, guys? I'm gonna stab you in the face. Ooh, chest. Running low on fortune wires. To glory and loot! Panzer Wolfbane, I'm not sure what the question is. Because I've seen that happen a couple times. Heck, the final Naruto did that. You know, I think one villain that comes to mind that was just straight up, like, kind of evil. Pretty much any of the villains in the Digimon series. $20.10 in because he had to one-up Kuma. To one-up the bear! Girly voice. Alright. Thank you very much, Melphus. Did you actually suggest a keyword, though? You offered me the world of broccoli. What's this skill? Okay, that's a couple hits. It's kind of interesting. Running low on fortune wire. Hold up, I'm gonna set my L1 circle to be Terror Cyclone. And we can see how that works. Where are we going? We're going this way. Other way. We're not going that way. To glory and loot! Give Kuma a consolation prize for being the most likely to be one-upped. Well, at least at the moment he is getting a copy of Risk of Rain. At least I don't think he's won a copy of Risk of Rain yet. If he has, then it goes to third place, I guess. Yeah, like most of the villains, because like there's still the discussion in the comments going on about villains and stuff, though. But, yeah, there's still... Like, most of the villains in Digimon were that way. I know Devimon was... I mean, he's freaking Devimon. Come on. Like, Devilmon, for Pete's sake. Who was the guy in the movie? Was that Diaboromon? Who's Diaboromon? I don't remember. I do not remember my Mons. Then, like, whoever the big vampire guys was that was just, like, wrecking face. Then there was that clown guy. I don't know, I'm not as fond of like, clown villains, but didn't they have, like, a whole other season after that or something? Or a whole other, like, arc after that? Or was legit the clown the final dude in the first series? I forget, man. Myotismon. Okay, the vampire guy is Myotismon. Myotismon was pretty alright. If I had to punch a Toho character in the face or give a Toho character a hug, who would it be? If I had to punch a Toho character in the face... Yeah! Oh wow, that is a nice skill. I like that skill. I approve of that skill. That was just like 800 attacks in 2 seconds. Just done. I think they all critted too, so they were like all 200 damage. It was beautiful. If I had to punch a Toho character in the face, I'm leaning towards, I forget her name. Celestial Lady. Celestial Lady, drop the rocks. Generally a nuisance to everyone. Oh, this is only a 2-floor dungeon. So, yeah, Alcerus, if you can hold out, Tenchi. Tenchi! There we go, yeah, Tenchi, yeah. I'm leaning towards Tenchi, if I had to punch somebody. Because, honestly... That is a good point. She is a masochist. She'd probably enjoy it. I don't know, she needs taken down a couple pegs, though. It'd either be her or, like... Her or, like, maybe Towie. I know people are going to say it's not pronounced Towie, the W is silent because it's an older character and all of that crap. I don't blame me, man. Blame whoever Romanized it with a W. They could have Romanized it as T-E-I. They didn't. They chose to put that W in there. That's on them. As long as they're going to put that W in there, I'm going to pronounce that crap. You don't just put characters in there and then tell me to ignore them. It's not how words work. Okay, Melfi says to use broccoli as the word, so if, as long as nobody one-ups Melfis from here, right now, Melfis and Kuma are both getting a copy of Risk of Rain, and the keyword is going to be broccoli. That's an interesting word, I'm alright with that. Get some fun stuff up in here. Yeah! Oh my goodness, that attack is beautiful. Okay, let's go this way. Oh, what's a good way to make a children's movie or show villain appropriately threatening to adults without mentally scarring children? Children are actually reasonably adept at handling and understanding stressful situations. As long as you make the villain actually threatening, like, as long as you make them able to do destruction and damage, they will understand that it's a terrible thing. And you can do that without showing them doing horrible things. All you've got to do is show something like Godzilla walking around town, maybe knock over a couple of buildings while he's going, and you understand that, yeah, that's a dangerous thing. And that's an amount of threat that I think everybody can understand, because buildings getting knocked over is not cool. If I were to meet Shikieki from Toho, how would I react? Well, I'd be scared for one, because that probably means I'm dead. Oh, and then if I had to hug a character, because there's still that one. If I had to hug a character, who would it be? It'd be someone that's just had a really crappy time. I'm trying to think who's just had a really poo time. I kind of want to say Hina. Because, like, Hina just wants to make everybody happy. And she takes all that bad stuff and puts it on herself. Gotta have the people feel good when bad things are happening. All dungeon portals are open, so we can move on now. All that's left, there's like one room left in this entire dungeon, and it should be the God statue. Raisin's had a hard time as well. Raisin has had a hard time. I mean, she was actually like in the war on the moon and stuff. There's having a hard time, though, and then there's, like, just that, like, it'd have to be, like, that completely innocent kind of character. That just, like, means well and wants to do good. Oh, no. I think we've lost Alcerus. Well, on the upside, we finished the entire dungeon. So at least there's that. Alrighty. Well, just in time to leave. If I could go to the Pokemon world, would I then stay? Hmm. They've got the internet, right? It's like how that's my deciding factor. Like, if I could go to the Pokemon world, would I stay? And the first thing I think is, do they have the internet? Because if they don't have the internet, I don't know if I could manage.
Theoretically, I mean, I don't understand how else they would.
Yeah, they've got computers and crap, and you can...
System from one.
Yeah. So I imagine they've got something.
TV.
Yeah. Well, as long as we're back in town, we can wait for somebody else to hop on in. Whoever so that ends up being. Okay, got a darkness and darkness. Converge or raise? Let's get rid of the... I heard a noise. I think that means somebody's joining. Yep, we're getting Elk back in. Then I got a whole lot of equipment. Got 3 Phantom Twins in there somehow. I have so much money and no reason to use any of it. That is worse. Worse and worse. Everything is worse than what I have. Alright, let me go grab some more fortune wires, since I know I've just run out of those, and we can hop back into another area. If I could eat any type of food right now, what would I eat? Oh, I don't know, I'm not especially feeling food right now. I may have to go with the default. Holy crap, I have 60 health drinks! Oh, that's right, because, I was given like 100 of them last time. Okay. Has there ever been an anime that has made me shed tears? I'm sure there has, but none strike me off the top of my head. I'll go setting it up so Barry can play Fragment on her PS2. We've looked into the cable. We've not actually purchased it yet. You send me the link, though, and I need to order it. But really, all we need is that cable, and we're good to go. I've apparently forgotten Guatu's question. I'm sorry. Okay, I think we're good to go. Everybody's set up. Okay, there was a fire area that we needed to go to. I do believe someone mentioned. The fire one with all the bones and stuff. What level was the last area? 9? I think we can take higher than a 9. Come on, give me some fire. Give me some fire, come on. Fire 6, not helpful. Fire 7. Fire 10, can I get like an 11 or 12 fire? $15? 15's a bit much. I don't know if I can do a 15. Yeah, let's just go to a 10 fire. It'd be so cool if I could figure out how to put that butt symbol up there in the server. So I didn't have to spell out Ohm server. Oh, if I could eat any type of food right now, what would it be? I do not think this is the area that I'm looking for. We have a wet donut. Elk is right there. I don't think this is the area, but I don't know. Let's go anyway. See what happens. Fun having. Good time exploration having. Like, if I could eat any food right now, I don't know. I'm not feeling food right now. Like, even things that are normally appetizing don't lunge out at me right now. Let's go east. Ah, so many guys I ran into while I was watching I was looking at the chat. Just ran into all of them. Oh yeah, he's dead already. Okay, now where am I? We're still going east. Any advice to make a villain who is in power from the start more terrifying? I think a lot of that is subjective. Just trying to figure out, like, what one person finds terrifying versus somebody else. Like, personally, I think I would find something scarier that is... like a character that's more unhinged. To the point that, like, yeah, they're scary. Like, they're scary because they're powerful, but more so that, like, you know they can do terrible things, and that you feel like they could at any moment. Even if they actually don't. Okay, I think Gazen asked if he should do 2 versions of Lucy and his stand. I'm gonna leave that call on you. Because I'm not really sure. I suppose when she goes to black hole form, the stand would change. But I don't know. That's your call. You're the one designing them. You know, it feels nice to be able to actually, like, talk about Luciana now, because I've been working on it for so long and I didn't really want to say anything. Feels nice being able to actually, like, ah, crap. I don't have enough SP! No, I have to beat you the hard way, and get lit on fire. That hurt a little. Ah, I'm on fire again! Oh, Elk disconnected again already. Did I not notice? I noticed when I read the chat, but, like, did I not notice that he was... I feel bad. Alright, well, let me open up this chest and we can head back out again. Man donut. Take care, Melphus. Have fun. Oh, Melphus, before you go, send me a private message here on Twitch, so I can give you the thing if you win. If I could use any Toho character's item or power, who would it be and why? Probably Yukari, because Yukari's pretty OP. Guess I'll check my inventory or something. I didn't really pick up enough to sell things. Okay, got 2 fires. Let's get rid of you. Alrighty, all done. Waiting here now for a third to get back on. If Elk hops in, we can run around with Elk. If anybody else hops in instead, we can do that too. Wait a little while and see what happens. In the meantime, how all y'all doing? Alright, looks like somebody's reconnecting, and it looks like it's gonna be Elk again. Hey! What are my thoughts on the Attack on Titan crossover with Marvel? It's weird as crap, and I'm just gonna keep my distance from it, man.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there is, I don't know what exactly it's gonna be. It may just be like a comic or something. But, yeah. I think I remember seeing... I think I remember about... All I remember seeing is... I think I remember seeing the Titans more human-sized, and they were, like, dealing with Spider-Man.
I'm not gonna comment.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna keep my distance from it, to be honest. Let me try this. Hopefully that works both ways. Or did he perhaps mean Trove? I assumed he meant here. I didn't catch the first, like, sentence he said. He means on Trove. Well, crap! Oh, he's been trying to add me on Trove. But he just says, it just says I'm offline. So I guess I have to be online for somebody to add me on Trove? We're gonna play more Trove. Other players are busy. Ah. Okay, you know what? Let's go to a different fire area, because that was not the one that I was looking for. 12! 12 fire area. Let's do a 12 fire area. Gazen, I'm sort of running out of, well, Gaia characters. When it gets to the point that I'm designing characters for Game 3, I need to stop designing characters.
Yes.
I think we've seen this one as well. Oh well. Let's go... Let's go this way. But I think it's not only that I need to stop designing characters, but... Mimic! No! I think it's not only that I need to stop designing characters once I'm on, like, since I'm designing characters for Game 3, but I think it's also that, like, I'm clearly running out of characters if I am resorting to having to do a character from the third game in order to do a new character. So, I am sort of running out of characters. There's maybe one character that I need to do for... Man, I really need to, like, completely nuke this guy. There's maybe one additional character that I need to do for, well, Gaia 1. But there's not a lot to his design, so I haven't been as eager to do it. Technically, I have drawn him once. But I didn't especially like how the drawing turned out, so I just kind of went, eh. Oh, that guy's dead. I do not know if I did any damage. Maybe I did. Ah, crap. I'm gonna nuke him. Now we're gonna nuke each other. But I won! I hurt a little. But I won! How many games do I plan to make in the series? Just 3. Originally, I didn't even intend to make 3. It was mostly that I designed the first game, and I kind of wanted to leave it as just the first game. Like, it'd be cool, just do the one game, and it'll be alright. Like, just do the first game, and it'll be pretty alright. But I really liked the characters, though, and I started getting an idea for... Not even enough for me to, like, want to actively do anything with the idea, but just kind of a, man, it'd be a cool game if this happened. And because I was thinking, like, hey, it'd be a cool game if this happened, and of course the characters in Well Gaia meant enough to me that just my brain started putting things together. I hear something. We lost elk again. I was wondering why he was so far back. Okay. But yeah, it was mostly that, and then, like, when I had a little bit of free time, because, like, thinking takes no effort and it takes no time. I mean, it didn't detract anything from me putting effort into the first Welgaia. So, just when I was thinking every now and then, I'd be like, I'd just be like adding little things until I eventually had like, hey, it'd be kind of a cool idea for a game if I did this as some kind of like Welgaia 2. And I told Ogre about what little I did, and of course he jumped on the one thing he can sort of contribute to these, which is writing story and putting in some character development, and he kind of took charge on that while I was messing with Welgaia 1. And he ended up writing a pretty fair amount for, like, the overall progression for Welgaia 2. Which, beyond, like, an initial idea of, like, hey, it'd be kind of cool if this was a game, I really didn't have much for Welgaia 2. So he came up with a bunch of stuff for Welgaia 2 there. And then the only reason I thought about a third game was just because if we're going to have a game and we're going to have a sequel, if this is going to be a whole thing now, I want the ending to be representative of, like, the whole thing. And, like, cool as Game 2 was, I didn't feel like the ending was a good ending for all of the Welgaia thing. So, I sort of thought about a third game, but I didn't really think about a third game beyond thinking of the ending of the third game. Because really, I just wanted to know how I wanted the entire thing to end. And to be honest, that's all the more I've thought about it. I came up with kind of a neat gameplay thing for Game 2. Ogre did a bunch of writing for Game 2. And then I thought of how I want the third game to end so I could end all of Welgaia. But yeah, it's 3 games. It'll always be 3 games. It will most certainly not be 4 games. It cannot be 4 games. I have ended it at 3. Okay.
What?
Elk's back! Do I have a welcome back? Welcome back! Barry's not feeling so well, so she's gonna go lay down for a little bit. I am Greets. Okay, well, this will give us a chance to try another fire area. Maybe we'll find that fire area what does the thing. Oh man, he could save this time. Hey, a fire 10. Well, that was easy. Have I played Fable? I have not. If only because Fable is very, very, very much a Western RPG, and Western RPGs just don't really do it for me. Can I count to G back barks? I did once, I'm not sure if I can do it again. The triple backflip was a little sketchy. Ah! I still don't think this is the area that I needed to... I still don't think this is the area we need to go to. But, whatevs. Let's go this way. Going places. Places that are Mimic! I don't have enough SP! Oh no. Look, you just kill that Mimic eventually. Ow. Alright, I'm just gonna keep running in circles and eventually you'll stop. Okay, we're good. Oh no, elk. This is not treating Elk well at all, man. I feel bad. Have I played Legend of Legaia on the original PlayStation? That RPG game is a lot of fun. I did play it. I played it back during my JRPG, like, burn phase. And... Or was it Legaia 2 that I played? I think it was Legaia 1. It was alright. It had an interesting thing. Like, the combat was interesting. I'm not sure what exactly it was about it that I wasn't as fond of. I think the one thing I was least fond of with it was, just any amount of, like, romance in the game. Like, there was no romance subplot. Like, they kind of gave you the option at the end of the game to, like, hey, maybe you can go with this other lady, but it gives you a crap ending. Technically, the entire game, you have a girlfriend back in your town, which I think is a horrible decision, because... Okay, yeah, now we just know there's not going to be a romance subplot, because he already has a romantic interest, and she plays zero role in the entire game. Who's my favorite protagonist from the Tales games? Who? May go with Kratos. He's sort of a protagonist, right? He can be a protagonist. Or do you specifically mean, like, the main playable character? At which point I may go with Stan. Smash hype! If they made a dot hack GU MMO, would I play it? I'd probably dabble in it at least. I am not a PK guy, though. I don't like playing games where PKing exists. I don't like playing games where PKing is a thing. So, if that was a thing, then no, not in the least. Got somebody trying to get on. Elk's trying to get back on! He's hanging in! Any opinions on Silhouette Mirage? Silhouette Mirage is an interesting game. I think the whole swapping mechanic was really cool, especially in something like a platformer. But, I don't know, there's bits and pieces of it that I thought were alright, and I forget why. Oh, well, I guess we're not getting Elk. Maybe you should just call it for the night, Elk. I really don't think your emulator likes you. Okay, what if they made multiple servers, some with PK, some without? I guess it also depends then, like, what they add to the MMO other than the raw MMO. Because, like, to be honest, if all they had was, like, GU as it was played in the trilogy of games, that there's not a lot there to work as an MMO. Kind of like Fragment, to be honest. Like, there's not a lot here other than going into dungeons and doing that, and, like, as a proper MMO, that's not a lot of stuff. So, like, if that was about all they did, then that's not... it's not the best, but, like... I don't know, if they tried to make it a legit MMO, I think that'd be pretty cool. What is my opinion on Long McFunny Name from Tales of Rebirth? I have not played Tales of Rebirth, so I cannot honestly say. Yeah, the emulator is not like an Elk. Well, if anybody else feels like hopping in, we've still got a good 20-25 minutes left in the stream. We can go out and knock some stuff out. Don't want to leave Mar hanging. How do I feel about Toho characters fanon compared to canon? To be honest, they're so widespread and so huge that it's difficult to exactly tell the two apart. If we go like 100% true canon, then I do think some of the characters can get a bit boring. But at the same time, like a lot of the time, I think fanon takes characters way too far. Like ideally, I think I'd like canon with maybe a little bit of fanon in it. Which, to be honest, is almost what the guy does. I mean, he knows what we do. Man, Yuri Lowenthal was in Tales of Vesperia? I feel like I've played Tales of Vesperia, but off the top of my head, I can't remember anything about it. Maybe I didn't. Still waiting on a third to hop in. Anybody's welcome. I know there's at least a good number of you out there that can play this game. And Elk's, it seems like Elk's emulator decided to just... Oh, yeah, the 360 one. I have most certainly not played the 360 one then. Yeah, doesn't look like anybody's hopping in. And Air Gamer, pretty sure you've got it set up. If you want to hop in, man, anybody is welcome. Oh. Whoops. Sorry. Sorry about that, Air Gamer. I thought you had a second character actually named Air, so I was imagining... I was, like, linking it that way. Sorry about that. Well, if anybody else wants to hop on... Shark Pope. That's terrifying. Well, I don't want to wait here forever. I don't want to keep people waiting. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much, Air Gamer. We can stop by a lower level area. See what we can do with just the two of us. If nobody else is around to hop on. And I know some people were having trouble earlier as well. which may also have been half of Elk's problem. Can I give you a fortune cookie life saying? I used to have a little thing with like a billion fortunes in it from fortune cookies. If I knew where that was, I could just take it out and read one to you. Sadly, I have no idea where it is. If the root of all evil is money, and time is money, then is the root of all evil time? Am I a hugger, or do I prefer not be physical? I am not a hugger. I am not a physical person at all. I've had people like just try to pat me on the shoulder before and like, it's weird. Well, it doesn't... We've got a couple people trying to get on. But I don't know, I think the server's having a little bit of trouble tonight. Well, regardless, AirGamer, if you would like to, the two of us can hop into an area so we're at least doing something that's not standing around town. Not taking the two of us to a level 15 area. I don't even want to take us to a level 10 area. Give me that fire. Not doing 12 either. You're giving me all the ones that I was looking for earlier. Now you're not giving me the one that I don't want. That I have seen plenty. No, I do not want a fire 10. I do not want a fire 12. Or a 16! Holy crap! You know, if I can't get something decent. Okay, you know what? I will take a fire 7. Ah, dang it! That was it! I was waiting for a fire 9! And I just canceled it because I'm a nub. Fire 9! Oh, Panzerwolf actually made it into the lobby. Well, crap. So if you made it into the lobby, then we can exit out real quick, go grab him, and be right back. Okay, we're back, Panzer. Hop on in. Hey! Everybody's a wave master. Alright, let's go have some fun. Both of them are also higher level than I am. What level am I? I'm 11, and they're both higher than me. So we can actually wreck up some... We can actually wreck some pretty nasty stuff, I imagine. You know what? Let's give Fire 15 a go and see how badly we all die. I apologize in advance. Okay, it's a desert. Is it the desert with the bones? Oh my. I do not think this is the desert with the bones. We still cannot find the area that I'm looking for. Ah, dogs! Sled dog. Okay, where are we going next? We're going... We have options, but let's go this way. If I could have a pet penguin and all the money I would need to raise it, what would the penguin's name be? Oh man, we got the snake ladies. I was trying to get a good look at these snake ladies' heads. Like, what's going on there? Because they got the two big snakes, but do they even have a normal head? What would I name that penguin? I'm horrible at names, man. You can't ask me for names. I can never come up with a name. Ah! What was the penguin's name in Evangelion? Wow, I can't trigger portals either while he's on that. Sled dog! Dog! Got some music playing. Okay, we're going... Should be not long this way. Snake lady. Ah, they keep dying so fast. Snake lady, do you have a head? Snake lady, do you have a head? I can't tell. If she has a head, it was wrapped in snake. Okay. Oh no. Got so many. Got so many health potions. I think he mentioned earlier that I should just give them all to Barry, so I'll probably save them and just give her like 100 potions at some point. Crap is this thing? Should be there. Fighting! Man, I want to know if this snake lady has a head. Okay, there are 3 portals left. Let's do an awakening. You got it. Like, if they have a head, it's wrapped in snakes, and I can't see it. Okay, I'm not going to awakening you. I can awakening you. Well, not while Sarian's down. Yay! Okay, that wasn't actually the thing. We can go give it a try. I can look at the awakenings now. They're in magic skills, and it's all of these, like, Mina spells. I'm not using it on you. You have a head. You have a head. Hold up, I want to take a look at it. Do you have a head? Got a butt. I'm gonna wait on Sarian getting some SP back, then we can do that awakening. I think we got plenty of SP. Okay, I'm gonna run to the middle and I'll prep it. Sup? Nope, wrong button. Let's go you on... I'm dying. You. It's prepped! Let's do the thing! Woo! I feel bad that he died to the very first one because so much crap is still going on. He died to the first dumb rock that fell down. Okay, there should be 2 portals left still. They are... where are we? Oh. Random enemy. Do you have a head? Do you have a head? Lady... God dang it. I can't tell! Like, you're actually going the wrong way. It's this way. Should be almost done clearing out these. Should be around here. Yep, there it is. Snake lady, do you have a head? Do you have a head? I can't tell. Just stop attacking me. Turn away. Dang it. I just want to know if you have a head! South! South for the final portal! Where south? I don't know! Oh, I don't want to trigger this with a guy over here. Hey, guy, can I tick you off? Ah, Poe. Field portals, all open! Snake Lady, do you have a head? Snake Lady, get to you, do you? Ow. Do you have a head? I don't know, I don't think she does. It's just a coil of snakes. I should probably, like... Ow. It's all on you guys. I'm at least killing this frickin' sled. Okay, there. Do you have a head? Lady, do you have a head? Dang it. No dachi. Field portals are all open, so we can actually get going. Go into the dungeon proper. Later, bruised weasel. What is my opinion on Moogles? Moogles are tiny and generally adorable. They can be insufferable, but that depends on the Moogle. Now, we didn't start this too terribly late. Oh, and this is a 5-floor dungeon. Well, in that case, I'm going to take a brief break to go ahead and say the goodbyes right now. Because we have so little time. We have so little time left. The stream is effectively coming to a close. I'm going to say my goodbyes for the stream here, just so for the sake of the video, and then we can at least continue on and blitz our way to the bottom of the dungeon. So, I'll say, as always, thank everyone for showing up out here. Thank you to everyone who joined and played alongside. Thank you to everyone who has been donating. It's been a grand time. To everybody at home, I will see you all next week. And everybody in the chat right now, we're going to continue on at least to the bottom of this dungeon. Probably going to blitz my way down. I'm probably also going to completely forget where the cutoff point for this is, and that's going to be fun. Gonna have to edit it quick. Well, it's fresh in my brain. Sarian? Hey, Sarian. Hope he's not disconnecting. Really hope he's not disconnecting. Gonna be a sad end. There we go. Fighting guys! Ah, do you have a head? I got stabbed some. Couldn't tell if she had a head. Sledog! Dog! Let's do an awakening. That's an idea. We should wait for Mar to get some SP back then. So we can do an awakening. That should be enough. I think it's like 40 SP. Awakening, go! That's a horrible room. Do, you. No, wait, you know, you. It's ready. It's ready and we're dying. Oh no, Sarian died. Crap. Oh no. Oh no. Man! Holy crap! That's the punishment for dying? That's BS. Well, I am terribly sorry. Because that was complete BS. You know how long it takes to bloody level up? I am terribly sorry! Well, we're just gonna have to go back out there and, put more effort into not dying. Yeah, a whole level. That is rough. Now that I know what happens when you wipe, I am going to be so much more paranoid. Because, ow! Yeah, okay, gonna be more careful about this in the future. That probably would have been good to, like, at least knock out, like, most of them first. But, yeah, we've learned the importance of caution. Wow, man. Still, a whole level. I'm sorry to subject the two of you to that. Like, fudge me. I don't care what happens to me. I'll figure something out. But, like, eh. That's actually the first time I've wiped in Fragment so far. Well, regardless, I think it's a good time to call it for the evening. So until next week, everyone, we're going to be making a pretty solid attempt to get that level back. So until next time, everyone, thank you to everyone who's shown up in the chat, everyone I've been talking to all this time, despite that the people have been having trouble connecting. Thank you very much to the people who have donated so far. Right now, the high donator is Melphus With $20.10, he will be adding a keyword, broccoli, to the server, as well as he gets a copy of Risk of Rain. And I do believe Kuma was the second place with $20 even, who will also be getting a copy of Risk of Rain. And thus ends the giveaway. I no longer have any games to give. You can thank Beyond Zogurevu for giving all of the games that I've been donating these past couple runs. So, special thanks to him as well. Thank you all. Good night, everybody. Next time, we'll see if we can get that level back. And Sarian, you're more than happy to come back next week if you can actually manage to come back. Everybody is more than welcome. And Sarian wants to give me something. He's giving me more health drinks. I can't carry that many health drinks. I can't carry that many. I have 99 health drinks. I can't take any more.